What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the HannahCast YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be looking back on my Oscar nomination predictions for this year's Oscars. Now, granted, they look a little bit different from how you see the other ones, like a lot of the other people, how they like number it from most likely to least likely, and then like some of the below ones. I didn't do that for this year's season, but I will be doing that for next year's season, like this year. I will, and I'm going to be doing one here in a bit. But without any further ado, let's go on to my predictions for Best Picture. My predictions for Best Picture were All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of Water, Babylon, The Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fablemans, Tar, Top Gun Maverick, and The Whale. I got 8 out of 10. I got 8 out of 10. The nominees ended up being... actually, yeah. Ultimately, The Whale and Babylon didn't happen. And instead, we got Triangle of Sadness and Women Talking. Triangle of Sadness was a bit of a surprise, and Women Talking especially was also a surprise. Women Talking was it was a pleasant surprise, don't get me wrong. I didn't like Triangle of Sadness, though. I thought Women Talking was just going to do abysmally at the Oscars. Because, like, it had just been dying everywhere. Even even at the BAFTAs, it got like nothing. It got no nominations anywhere. So I just kind of thought it was dead in the water. But apparently, even Gold Derby, they predicted Women Talking. I mean, it was number 10, but they still predicted it. In fact, they were 9 out of 10. They almost got in Triangle of Sadness, which I should have put in Women Talking, especially when you get to the Writers Guild of America Awards. Which for some reason this year, they released the nominees for the Writers Guild a day after the Oscar nominations, which I found strange. But Women Talking got nominated for Adapted Screenplay, and I probably maybe would have switched over to predicting Women Talking, maybe. Although, again, like, there were some other ones I was considering as well. Like at the Producers Guild of America Awards, the Producers Guild Awards, they nominated Black Panther and Glass Onion, and also The Whale. Again, let me go to The Whale real quick, because The Whale is interesting. I thought there was a good chance The Whale was going to get in, because it got in at the Producers Guild Awards, but also it performed pretty well at BAFTA. Like, it even got nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay at the BAFTAs. And I'm thinking if they had, actually wait, I don't even, actually wait, yeah, The Whale wasn't even long listed for Best Film at the BAFTAs, I don't think, so maybe its chances were lesser than I thought. But Black Panther, I actually had this in my predictions for Best Picture, but I switched out in favor of Babylon in the last second, but again, that 10th slot was very tough. I was very confident in The Whale, and ultimately that didn't happen, but that 10th slot was so up in the air. I was like, could it be Babylon? Could it be Black Panther Wakanda Forever? I didn't really think Glass Onion was possible, because I think even the first Knives Out was nominated for the PGA. I just didn't think it was going to happen. But again, with Triangle of Sadness, I was just not expecting it. Like, even if it were to get nominated for Best Picture, it still overperformed, because I wasn't expecting it to get Director, which we'll get to here in a bit. But ultimately, I was very solid on this. I did catch on to All Quiet on the Western Front. I did predict that for Best Picture, because nowadays you pretty much have to get at least one international film in there for Best Picture. So I did get that. Best Director was crazy, because again, it was 4 out of 5. Where it was Edward Berger for All Quiet on the Western Front, Daniels for Everything Everywhere All at Once, Todd Field for Tar, Martin McDonagh for The Banshees of Inisherin, and Steven Spielberg for The Fablemans. I was so confident in Edward Berger getting nominated. Like, I think even... also, I should also mention, like, for Best Picture, I knew Woman King was dead, RRR was dead. I was not going to predict Living, unless it, got, like, a Best Film nomination at BAFTA, but overall... Yeah. But anyways, for best director, I wow, wait. Gold Derby was still hanging on to James Cameron. I thought the hype for Avatar or The Way of Water was just dying real fast. And it actually did overperform a little bit more than what I was expecting. But, like, I knew Avatar was getting Best Picture, but there was no way James Cameron was going to get Best Director. I just did not think that. And ultimately he didn't. But I thought Edward Berger was going to get in. And I think even at DGA, what did they do for DGA? At DGA, it was that same four, but instead they got Joseph Kaczynski for Top Gun Maverick. I, I still was not thinking Joseph was going to get in there. Although when they were reading off the nominees and I saw the All Quiet in the Western Front was gone, I was like, oh my god, are they actually going to nominate Top Gun? But no, they went for Triangle of Sadness. I would have easily put All Quiet over, Triangle of Sadness anyway. But I think we're starting to see a trend with the Oscar nominees for Best Director, and that they're starting to slowly not nominate the big time directors, like the big blockbuster, not even blockbuster, but like the large scale kind of directing as much anymore. Like last year, Denis Villeneuve got snubbed for Dune. This year, you had three potential directors that had like these large scale productions not getting nominated for director at the Oscars, where whether it was James Cameron for Avatar, Joseph Kaczynski for Top Gun Maverick, or Edward Berger for All Quiet in the Western Front. Those are all big movies, like large scale set piece movies, and none of those got nominated. And instead, you got the artiste film. You got the artiste film Triangle of Sadness getting in for directing, like Ruben Östlund. So that was a biggest surprise. Sarah Polley for Women Talking, she was never going to get in. Joe again, Kaczynski, Gina Prince Bythewood. I don't think she got nominated at BAFTA, but I really didn't think that was actually going to happen at the Oscars because they have a jury thing at the BAFTAs now, and she just really felt like a jury save. I just did not believe that she was going to get nominated. I just did not think that was a realistic prediction. If Baz Luhrmann got in for director at the BAFTAs, I would have maybe predicted him. But again, he didn't, so he's dead. Yeah, good God, Ruben Östlund was among some of the last ones, like with Charlotte Wells for Aftersun and S.S. Rajamouli for RRR. Whoever predicted Ruben Östlund, wow, props to you for doing that. That is crazy. But yeah, I got that wrong. Best Original Screenplay. I predicted The Banshees of Inisherin, Decision to Leave, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fablemans, Tar. Once again, I got 4 out of 5. The nominees ended up being Banshees of Inisherin, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fablemans, Tar, and Triangle of Sadness, which was crazy. I think at the Writers Guild of America Awards, the next day they nominated Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fablemans, The Menu, Nope, and Tar. Had I seen the Writers Guild nominations, I would have maybe predicted The Menu to get nominated. I would have probably predicted had the nominees for the Writers Guild been released before the Oscar nominations, I would have predicted The Menu. Because I was like, The Menu has a really good screenplay, and I feel like they would do that. Like that would be a really cool prediction. But ultimately, that didn't happen. I wouldn't really, even though he got nominated at the Writers Guild, I really would not have taken Nope very seriously for original screenplay. What do they have on Gold Derby as possible predictions? Oh wait, no, that's adapted screenplay. Here we go. Wow, they got 5 out of 5. I probably should have gone with Triangle of Sadness. I think the BAFTAs even went 5 out of 5 there. I just thought Triangle of Sadness was going to do better in Europe than here. And I thought Decision to Leave was good. Why did I even predict Decision to Leave? Oh, wait, now I remember. I predicted Decision to Leave because I thought we were going to have another situation that we did last year, where Drive My Car got nominated for adapted screenplay, and then for original screenplay we got The Worst Person in the World. So I was like, oh, we're probably going to get a what's the word I'm looking for? An international film for original screenplay. And sort of yes, but also sort of no, because Ruben Östlund is an auteur European director, but but and Decision to Leave got nothing. It got zip zada nothing. Like no, actually probably should have been nada, not zada. I'm kind of stupid, but yeah, Decision to Leave didn't get in anywhere. So that was kind of nuts. But had I seen the Writers Guild Awards, I would have still been wrong, but I would have still probably predicted The Menu. What were some other predictions people were making? After Sun, I just didn't see that happening. I would love it. I would love it if it got adapted, like original screenplay, but no. The Menu, I would have seen that coming. Babylon. Oh wait, did no one? Oh wait, no, they did. Wait. Oh yeah, one person predicted Decision to Leave. So yeah, I think I really should have gone with Triangle of Sadness. I feel like that was a big oof on my part. Even if I weren't going to nominate for, even if I weren't going to predict it for director or best picture, I should have still at least gotten it in for original screenplay, adapted screenplay. I was pretty like again, I got I think 3 out of 5. I got All Quiet on the Western Front, Glass Onion, and Living, looking good so far. She Said and The Whale, which I got completely wrong. Uh, I I think She Said The Whale actually did get nominated at BAFTA, but and I think She Said oh wait, yeah, She Said did get nominated for the Writers Guild, so I probably would have been right to predict She Said. I mean, well, obviously, well, technically not right, but I probably had I seen the Writers Guild nominations, I would have predicted She Said definitely. But God, for adapted screenplay, Top Gun, Maverick, and Women Talking. Somewhere in the back of my head, I was thinking there's a chance they could go absolutely crazy and go, adapted screenplay, Top Gun, Maverick. Like that, maybe that could have happened. But again, with Women Talking, I thought it was just kind of dead. But Women Talking did get into the Writers Guild, so if I saw this, I probably would have gotten Women Talking as well. But like, man, like, uh, Top Gun getting in, that's nuts. Although The Whale, I thought The Whale was going to get in, but now I'm starting to see a pattern. Actually, I don't even know why I even have this on. But with The Whale, I think we're starting to see this pattern where like movies strictly based on plays usually like don't really do that well for adapted screenplay anymore. Obviously now people go, well, but The Father. The Father, I think I had a couple of things going for it. One, the film overall was just exceedingly well received, but also you could also make an argument that with 2020 being a year where a bunch of movies that would have gotten in ended up not getting in, like, or at least like you'll get like a lot of those movies were getting delayed. It probably weakened the playing field for The Father to slip in, because it just seems like stage adaptations generally don't make it to screenplay, like make it to adapted screenplay that much nowadays. West Side Story didn't do it. Tick Tick Boom didn't do it. Again, The Whale didn't do it. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom didn't. And so like, I don't know exactly what it is. Maybe it has to do with like how much is adapted or how much, is literally just taken from the play and just put onto the screen. I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, The Whale ended up not getting in. What were some other possibilities? Oh yeah, because like for adapted screenplay, they also got Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. I would like, okay, maybe I wouldn't have predicted Black Panther for adapted screenplay, because the first one did. The first one did get nominated for adapted screenplay. Oopsies, I need to button this thing up real quick. But yeah, like, oh god, like I thought maybe, but then again, the adapted screenplay category wasn't really that packed. Like Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, I thought was not going to happen. I thought it was going to perform better than it did at the Oscars as we saw, but I didn't think it was going to get adapted screenplay. Overall, there was just not a lot of enthusiasm anywhere for adapted screenplay. So really, this would be your main 7 to go with. And Bones and All, I thought was just like that film was dead. Like they were like it was getting in nowhere. But Top Gun Maverick, maybe I figured maybe Writers Guild would do that. I figured maybe Writers Guild would go for Top Gun Maverick, and had I seen that, maybe just then again, would I have still predicted Top Gun Maverick even if you know like if I were to see the Writers Guild nominations? I don't know, because it would seem like a very Writers Guild thing to do. Had I seen the Writers Guild nominations, I probably would have predicted. I still would have predicted All Quiet on the Western Front, Glass Onion, and Living, and maybe She Said and Women Talking. Actually, no, maybe The Whale and Women Talking. Or She Said. God, it's still very tough because I was very sure The Whale was going to get nominated. But actually, then again, like The Whale didn't even get in here. But then again, was The Whale even eligible? Because I don't know if Samuel D. Hunter is in the Writers Guild, so it's tough. But yeah, so yeah, best lead actor. I should have predicted something. Okay, I predicted Austin Butler for Elvis, Colin Farrell for The Banshees of Inisherin, Brendan Fraser for The Whale, Hugh Jackman for The Sun, and Bill Nye in Living. Good God, why did I not predict Paul Mescal? He was right there. Now, okay, the Screen Actors Guild. Okay, let's take a look at what everyone else was saying. What was everyone else saying? I think, yeah, it was the top 5. They nominated top 5. Okay, here's the problem. The 4 of these guys were clearly safe. Austin Butler, Colin Farrell, Brendan Fraser, and Bill Nye. That 5th slot was just impossible to predict. I think ultimately it would have come down to 4 possibilities. Paul Mescal for Aftersun, which happened. Hugh Jackman for The Sun, which I predicted. Tom Cruise for Top Gun Maverick, and Adam Sandler for Hustle. Now, I will say I never bought into Tom Cruise getting nominated for for best lead actor for Top Gun. I never took that seriously. I was like, no, he's not getting nominated. You are absolutely crazy if you think he's getting nominated. Like, yeah, he got Critics' Choice, but there were 8 nominees for best lead actor at the Critics' Choice Awards? But still, it's still a stat. But between those 4, Paul Mescal, Hugh Jackman, Tom Cruise, and Adam Sandler, because Adam Sandler did get in at the SAG Awards, which I was like, oh, wow, Adam Sandler. That came out of nowhere. But here's the thing. Between those 4 actors, only Paul Mescal got nominated in more than one major awards body. He got nominated at Critics' Choice and BAFTA. Between those 4, he was the only one to get nominated more than once. Because, Hugh Jackman only got Golden Globe, Tom Cruise only got the Critics' Choice, and Adam Sandler only got SAG. There was, even, last year, which I think I did correctly predict Javier Bardem would get that last slot over Peter Dinklage. But, he did get nominated for both the Globe and the Critics' Choice, which also, I guess, technically, what was it? Peter Dinklage did too, but it's I don't know. I have a feeling about Javier Bardem. And then he got SAG. And once he got SAG, I was like, well, it's done. There were some other possibilities. Like, you still had, Leonardo DiCaprio for Don't Look Up. You had Peter Dinklage for Cyrano. You had Mahershala Ali for Swan Song. But those guys mainly got two like nominations in two major awards bodies. Javier Bardem, actually wait, no, Javier Bardem did get only two, but still, okay. I don't know what my point is with Javier Bardem. I like whatever. I'm just dumb. But like since Paul Mescal between these four was like only had more was the only one between those four to get two nominations in these awards bodies. I was like, well, I should have assumed Paul Mescal was going to get in. I should have assumed he was going to get in. But ultimately I didn't because I'm an idiot. Again, like Felix Kramer, I don't think was going to happen. Even if he got nominated at the BAFTAs, I would not have taken him seriously for best lead actor. Tom Hanks for A Man Called Otto, no. So yeah, ultimately, yeah, I should have gone with Paul Mescal because again, between him, Cruise, Sandler, and Jackman, he was the only one to get nominated twice, or like get nominated in two major awards bodies. So again, I got that wrong. All right, best lead actress. I predicted Kate Blanchett for Tar, Viola Davis for The Woman King, Danielle Deadwyler for Till, Michelle Williams for The Fablemans, and Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once. I got in the Oscars, it went to Kate Blanchett for Tar, Ana de Armas for Blonde, Andrea Riseborough from To Leslie, Michelle Williams for The Fablemans, and Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Yeah. Okay. I will just say that. Okay. Yeah. I will just say. I still do not regret not predicting Andrea Riseborough. Now, granted, don't get me wrong. After having seen the movie, she is great. Actually, I think out of these nominees, she actually would have been my pick to win. But I didn't even know who this was. I didn't even know who she was. I didn't even know what To Leslie was. I had just zero idea that this was ever like conceivable to actually happen. I didn't even know what those things were. Like, I didn't know who she was. I didn't know what that movie was. I just thought, like, there was no way. Like, I was not even on my radar. So, obviously, I was never going to be able to predict Andrea Riseborough. But, I think I actually did go with the Gold Derby 5. But I think I underestimated Ana de Armas' chances. I think my rationale for maybe not predicting Ana de Armas was because, and I will say this is unfair because she was great in the film, but like Blonde was such a controversial film that, and people were like, you better not nominate Blonde for an Oscar, which again I find weird considering like, okay, yeah, don't nominate it for Best Picture, but like Ana de Armas was still great in it. Like she had nothing to do with the film's plot or anything. But I was thinking maybe the Oscars wouldn't want to go that route because they wouldn't want to be controversial, but ultimately they did. So that was a risk that they took. Again, I agree with this risk because again, Ana de Armas did not deserve any hate for Blonde. Like she was great. She was great in an awful film. So there's that. But man, I was already kind of thinking oh yeah, more people thought Danielle Deadwyler was safe over Viola Davis. Ooh. I thought Viola Davis was completely safe. Like she got Golden Globe, Critics' Choice, BAFTA, and SAG. So it's like I thought Viola Davis was completely safe. But no, she didn't get nominated, and Danielle Deadwyler didn't get nominated, which is crazy. And instead, we got Andrea Riseborough from To Leslie and uh Ana de Armas for Blonde. Like I will say, Michelle Williams for The Fablemans was dying off pretty fast because I think she only got Golden Globe and and Critics' Choice nominations. I don't think she got in at the Screen Actors Guild Awards. Nope, she didn't. She did not get Screen Actors Guild. So I think a lot of people were dropping her off, but I was still thinking she probably still might get in. Uh, Although I still don't know why they campaigned her for lead actress when she's clearly a supporting role. But yeah, I should have gone with Ana de Armas. But then again, like okay, in terms of predicting, uh, okay, so I think Daniel Deadweiler. Actually, no, Daniel Deadweiler was in a better position than Michelle Williams. So I think it was either going. Okay, yeah, I think looking back, it was very tough for me between Michelle Williams and Ana de Armas. But I thought they were going to go with like they weren't going to go with Ana de Armas because they didn't want to be controversial. But ultimately that did happen. And again, I do not blame myself at all for not predicting Andrea Riseborough. I never even knew what To Leslie was or who Andrea Riseborough was. So, considering I didn't even know what those were, I didn't even, like, of course there was no way I was going to predict it. So, yeah. Best Supporting Actor. Okay. I got, I got 4 out of 5, which is pretty strong. I predicted Brendan Gleeson for the Banshees of Inisherin, Judd Hirsch for the Fablemans, Barry Keoghan for the Banshees of Inisherin, Ke Huy Quan for Everything Ever All at Once, and Eddie Redmayne for The Good Nurse. And at the Oscars, I got all of them right except for Eddie Redmayne, and instead it went to Brian Tyree Henry from Causeway. And here's why that's a little bit crazy. Like, okay, weirdly enough, Eddie Redmayne had the exact same stats that Ana de Armas had. Like, he had, exactly like Ana de Armas. Eddie Redmayne had the Golden Globe nomination, he had the BAFTA nomination, and the SAG nomination. But I think with The Good Nurse, I think I predicted Eddie Redmayne over, like Ana de Armas for her category. Because The Good Nurse is not really a controversial film. I mean, people will want to complain about Eddie Redmayne for stupid reasons that I will never understand, because he's a phenomenal actor and whatever. But, like, The Good Nurse was just ultimately not as controversial as Blonde was, so that's why I was thinking he could get in, but not Ana de Armas, despite the two having the exact same stats. But ultimately, Eddie Redmayne didn't get in. Although I will say, I did call that, like, despite what everyone was saying, I was saying I think Paul Dano's going to get screwed over. I do not think Paul Dano's going to get nominated, because I think he did get supporting actor at the at the SAG Awards. And I think he also got nominated at the Critics' Choice Awards, but I think I think Paul Dano is going to be he's going to be our Katrina Balfe, where, like, everyone was predicting Katrina Balfe from Belfast for supporting actress, and then the Oscars went for the older with the older pick, Judi Dench. And I was thinking this exact same thing is going to happen here. Everyone's going to be predicting Paul Dano, and yet out of nowhere it's Judd Hirsch. He's the nominee, and I got that right. I did call that. I figured Paul, and I'm not saying I would have wanted that to happen. I would have nominated Paul Dano way above Judd Hirsch, because I thought Paul Dano had a lot more to work with instead of just having one scene. And even then, with that one scene that Judd Hirsch had, he didn't really leave that big of an impact on me. But I was thinking they're gonna screw Paul Dano over. Judd Hirsch is a Hollywood veteran. So I figured he would get a lot more love than Paul Dano, where Paul Dano, like, they just kind of still see him as, like, the young boy, even though I'm pretty sure he's in his 40s or something. But I did get that right. But again, I thought Eddie Redmayne was safe, but no, Brian Tyree Henry for Causeway. This was absolutely out of nowhere. I did not even think about this. Actually, where did Gold Derby have him? Wow, they had him at number 6, but no, number 7. But he was way down there because he also had Ben Winshaw for Women Talking, Brad Pitt for Babylon. I did not think Mark Rylance was ever going to happen. He got nominated absolutely nowhere. So never once did I think that was ever a possibility. But Brad Pitt, there was, like, he did get nominated at the Golden Globes, but you could probably also say that was a Golden Globes pick to have. Now, if Brad Pitt got supporting actor at, let's say, BAFTA, maybe we would have been changing the conversation. Ben Winshaw, or Wishaw, he only got Critics' Choice, so I knew that was never going to happen. But at the same time, Brian Tyree Henry only got Critics' Choice. So I did not think that, like, I thought he was dead in the water. I did not think he was going to get nominated. So I guess one of my hot predictions did end up coming true. That being Judd Hirsch getting in over Paul Dano. I did get that right, but I thought Eddie Redmayne was probably going to get nominated for that fifth. I thought he was going to get that 5th slot, but no, Brian Tyree Henry. And look, Brian Tyree Henry was great in Causeway. I was just that was like I like to call Brian Tyree Henry's nomination the film Twitter favorite, because like film Twitter loved him in Causeway, uh, and we just did not think that was ever going to happen. Best Supporting Actress, 5 out of 5, I got this right. Angela Bassett for Black Panther Wakanda Forever, Hong Chow for The Whale, Carrie Condon for The Banshees of Inisherin, Jamie Lee Curtis for Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Stephanie Hsu for Everything Everywhere All at Once. This is the exact same lineup that was in the SAG Awards for Supporting Actress. It's the SAG 5. I thought, alright, I think they're gonna do Stephanie Hsu because I think they're gonna really love Everything Everywhere All at Once. Granted, they loved the film way more than I thought they were going to love it. But still, and Hong Chow, with how much I was over predicting The Whale, I just assumed like Hong Chow was going to get in there, because if it's going to get in for adapted screenplay and Best Picture, she's going to come along with them. And even though Best Picture and adapted screenplay did not happen, she still got in. And she got nominated for the BAFTA and SAG, which was pretty good. Angela Bassett, I thought she was going to win. I seriously thought she was going to win Supporting Actress. And that never happened. That straight up never happened. Because she did win the Golden Globe and Critics' Choice, but she lost at BAFTA, which was a little bit expected. But then she lost at SAG, where I was like, oh no, she's not going to win this after all. But overall, I got 5 out of 5. What did Gold Derby say? What did Gold Derby say for Supporting Actress? Because I know, let's see. Oh yeah, they got 5 out of 5 as well. There was Dolly De Leon for Triangle of Sadness. She did get nominated at the Golden Globes and BAFTA, so she was a possibility, but I didn't think that was going to happen. Janelle Monáe for Glass Onion. Again, Janelle Monáe only got the Critics' Choice Award, so I don't think they would have gotten nominated either. Nina Haas for Tar was never even a consideration. Women Talking Girls, no, never. Michelle Williams should have been in the conversation for Supporting Actress, but for some reason they put her in lead, which was stupid. But I did not think, Women Talking was ever going to get anywhere. Oh yeah, I forgot at one point they had Jessie Buckley in as a possibility, but I think it was pretty clear that the Women Talking women were never going to get in. Honestly, looking back on it, this was a very secure 5. This was at the end of the day, this was a very, very, very secure 5 predictions. So yeah. Best Animated Film. There it is. Yeah, I predicted Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, Turning Red, and Wendell and Wild. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this was the Critics' Choice 5. But and I was confident in this because, like, really, what was going to be that other film? Well, that turned out to be that fifth slot ended up going to the Sea Beast instead of Wendell and Wild. Which, look, that was a surprise, but it was a pleasant surprise because the Sea Beast was fantastic. I love that movie. But like I like, but the rest of the four nominees, they were easily predictable. Like, obviously Pinocchio, Marcel, Puss in Boots, and Turning Red, they were going to get in. Hell, even these four got into the BAFTAs. So it just really, it was just a question of that fifth slot. But yeah, the Sea Beast. I don't know why I've still not watched My Father's Dragon. I think I I ultimately did not predict My Father's Dragon because it was like there was no hype for that movie whatsoever. And Strange World, never, that was never going to happen in a million years. Apollo 10 and a half, I still have not seen that. I don't know why I didn't see that. I need to see that. Luck, never, that was never going to happen. Inu O, I just figured that was going to be the same thing as My Sunny Maud from last year's Golden Globes animated feature lineup. Because if you remember, last year, the Golden Globes snubbed Mitchell's vs. the Machines in favor of Inu O. No, in favor of My Sunny Maud. And I was like, yeah, no. When I saw Eno O in there at the Golden Globes, I was like, that's not going to happen at the Oscars. That's so not going to happen. No disrespect to that film. I haven't seen it. But in terms of predicting, I was like, no, this is that Golden Globes pick. Like I just, like, a movie that I've never even heard of. And it gets in at the Golden Globes. I just did not predict that. But the Sea Beast, again, Sea Beast came right the hell out of nowhere. Apparently, it did pretty well with like Annie nominations, and I should have also expected it to get nominated because I think it actually got quite a few Visual Effects Society nominations. So maybe that should have been higher on my radar than it was. But then again, it's like everyone quickly forgot about the Sea Beast. Whereas with Wendell and Wild, like it had Henry Selick, you had like he was directing it, and you had Jordan Peele co-writing and producing. So it's like that was the film that was on everybody's radar. So I kind of just assumed it would be Wendell and Wild. But overall, this is probably the first time I can say in a long time where all five of these movies are fantastic. And not only are these five, well, actually, no, these five movies fantastic, but like, again, Wendell and Wild is fantastic. The only reason why I would not nominate Marcel the Shell with Shoes On is because it's not an animated movie. It's a live action movie with animated characters. I keep saying that, but I knew it was going to get nominated anyway. But yeah, the Sea Beast, that came right out of nowhere, but I'm not gonna complain. It's a really freaking good nomination. Best cinematography. Oh boy. I got, okay. I predicted All Quiet on the Western Front, The Batman, Empire of Light, Elvis, and Top Gun Maverick. Granted, I think this was actually the BAFTA 5. I think this exact 5 was in the BAFTAs. Because even the American Society of Cinematographers, okay, like, I knew All Quiet was gonna happen because, like, it was a late bloomer, but it got a lot of, like, you know, Golden Globes love, I mean, BAFTA love, it got a lot of BAFTA love, but I thought, yeah, where is it? Oh yeah, cinematography, there we go. Oh boy, oh wow, like, Gold Derby was really wrong. All right, let's see. The big snub, Top Gun Maverick. That was supposed to win. Top Gun Maverick was supposed to win cinematography, and it didn't get nominated. And it like what had like a perfect clean record. Like it got nominated for, like, hell, it won the Critics' Choice Award. It got nominated for the American Society of Cinematographers, as we can see here, and it got nominated for the BAFTA. So it's like, it was a clean sweep, and it didn't get nominated for the Oscar? That was crazy. Where is it? Oh yeah, because in the Oscars, we got Bardo and Tar, which Tar just came right out of nowhere. I think it did get nominated at Critics' Choice. But still, I wasn't really taking Tar that seriously. Bardo, I thought may have been possible because it did get nominated for the American Society of Cinematographers. But my God, like, Top Gun not getting nominated. Okay, again, so Gold Derby got 2 out of 5 out of this right. I did. I don't know why everyone was sleeping on Elvis. I was like, are you really seriously thinking about sleeping on Elvis? Because even when I saw Elvis in theaters, I was like, holy shit, the cinematography in this movie is amazing. And everyone's just sleeping on it. It was like no one was paying attention to Elvis. It's like, I'm like, are you serious? That movie's easily going to get a cinematography nomination. And BAFTA, the BAFTAs and American Society of Cinematographers was very helpful. And hell, it even won the American Society of Cinematographers award, uh, for cinematography. But like, I don't know why everyone was just sleeping on Elvis. Oh my god, the Batman. I'm so sad the Batman did not get nominated. I thought the Batman should have been, like that. Like, I thought it was a very, I thought there was a very good chance that it was going to get nominated. Again, it got American Society of Cinematographers, and it even got BAFTA. And like BAFTA has recently been kind of very against comic book movies, so I was thinking, Batman's gonna get in. But God, Tar and Bardo, oh my God, and it was, and you can even see on Gold Derby how much of a lock, like, Top Gun was as a winner. Hell, the only other movies that had like experts predicting it to win were The Fabelmans, Avatar, and The Batman, which weren't even nominated. So it's like literally everyone was wrong. Like when it came, like every Oscar expert on Gold Derby was wrong in terms of who was going to win. Like it's crazy, and like when they just skipped over. When they just skipped over Top Gun Maverick in favor of Tar, I was like, oh my god, what's gonna win now? I was like, and then I started thinking, okay, maybe it could be All Quiet on the Western Front, but damn! Empire of Light, I figured was gonna get nominated. It's Roger Deakins. I don't even think it's Roger Deakins' best work, or not even. I didn't even think it was remotely close to his best work. No disrespect to Roger Deakins or Sir Roger Deakins as he is now, but I was like, I just did not really see what was so appealing about his cinematography in the film, other than the fact that it's Roger Deakins doing the cinematography. But God, I think, hell yeah, I think only 2 of my personal picks even got nominated. All Quiet and Elvis, no Top Gun, no Batman. Granted, okay, my 5th pick would have been The Whale, but I knew that was never gonna happen. That would never happen. Other possible contenders, I never saw The Fabelmans as a possibility. I did not even consider The Fabelmans. Like West Side Story, like that's a like West Side Story, that was a big film that had like a lot of crazy cinematography. The Fablemans is less so. It's less like that. Avatar: The Way of Water, I just did not think they were going to repeat themselves with the first Avatar winning cinematography, so I just did not think that was ever going to happen. Babylon, no, I just didn't see that happening. Everything Everywhere, no. I just did like. And Nope would have been a good nomination too. Nope would have also been a very good. I didn't love Nope, but for cinematography, that would have been a pretty good nomination in my opinion. But like, man, this was absolutely, literally most of your front runners did not even get nominated for cinematography, which is nuts. Most like that is insane. But again, my predictions, I thought they were going to line up perfectly with the BAFTAs, but that didn't happen. Film editing, I predicted All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of Water, Elvis, Everything Everywhere, and Top Gun Maverick. I think the Eddie Award nominations, if I'm not mistaken, I think they were also announced the day after the Oscar nominations. I want to say that was the case. It was either that or the Art Directors Guild. I don't know. I don't really know. And I think I got 3 out of 5. I thought All Quiet on the Western Front was going to be like this big juggernaut, and at the BAFTAs, no, I mean at the Oscars, uh, and granted it did perform very well, but it didn't even get film editing, which is crazy. The nominees ended up being The Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, Everything Everywhere, Tar, and Top Gun Maverick. Tar, again, that was a film that just got way more nominations than I ever anticipated it to get. The American Cinema Editors Awards. Oh, so they did nominate All Quiet on the Western Front. Elvis, Tar, Top Gun Maverick, and The Woman King, The Banshees of Inisherin. Okay, so all your nominees are here. So okay, so Avatar was not even like there. Uh, I don't know when the nominations were announced for the Eddie Awards. Actually, let me check on a second. Okay, so I did a bit of research, and apparently the Eddie Awards were like the nominees were announced after the Oscars. So I guess this wasn't very okay. Had I seen this, okay, if I had seen this, because okay, for drama theatrical, the nominees were All Quiet on the Western Front, Elvis, Tar, Top Gun Maverick, The Woman King, and for feature film comedy, we had The Banshees of Inisherin, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Glass Onion, The Menu, and Triangle of Sadness. I would have still predicted All Quiet on the Western Front, if I'm going to be honest. I would have, but like Avatar, because I thought they were going to nominate Avatar, but ultimately they didn't do that. So if I had seen this, considering it had gotten pretty much nowhere, and the Fablemans didn't get nominated either, so I probably would not have predicted. The Fablemans did not get nominated at the Eddies either. So I think had I seen this, my predictions would have been. I would have probably switched to Banshees of Inisherin. I probably would have gone All Quiet on the Western Front, Elvis, Top Gun Maverick, Banshees of Inisherin, and Everything Everywhere All at Once. I probably would have done that because I think it got nominated like practically everywhere else. I think. Maybe. I think it got nominated for the BAFTA. Maybe the Critics' Choice? I don't know. Although the Banshees of Inisherin got in way lower than I anticipated. Although I think the exact same thing happened to Three Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri. I want to say Three Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri also got an editing nomination. Hold on. Yep, I'm looking at the document on my computer right now. Three Billboards did get nominated for film editing, so I probably would have gone the same route with Banshees of Inisherin. But I still would not have predicted Tar. Like, Tar, again, that was a film that just overperformed. I did not think that was actually going to happen. So I would have still kept it All Quiet, but I would have taken out Avatar in favor of Banshees of Inisherin. But still, I got that 3 out of 5. Production design. Wow, I did. Like, actually, wait. Okay, yeah, so this is still 3 out of 5. I predicted All Quiet on the Western Front, Babylon, Banshees of Inisherin, The Batman, and Elvis. Where I think, production design. I got 3 of those right. I got All Quiet, Babylon, and Elvis, but instead of, what was it? Banshees of Inisherin and The Batman, we ended up getting Avatar: The Way of Water and The Fablemans. This is where I thought Avatar, I think I did predict 3 nominations. No, 3. Yeah, I think I predicted 3 nominations for Avatar: The Way of Water. Visual effects, sound, and production design. No. I predicted it for. I predicted it for film editing, not production design. But it did end up getting 3, but it actually did end up getting production design, which is crazy. And I'm looking right here. The Art Directors Guild Awards actually did come out with their nominations before the Oscar nominations. Yeah. So why did I do that? Why did I predict the Banshees of Inisherin? Because it did not even get nominated for period film. It did not get nominated. So why did I think I think I went with the assumption that, the production design in the Banshees of Inisherin is definitely memorable. It is definitely very memorable production design. So I was thinking maybe it could actually squeeze in, although I don't even think it got in at BAFTA. So, like, it didn't get any Critics' Choice or BAFTA or Art Directors Guild. So why did I even go for the Banshees of Inisherin to begin with? Okay, Avatar: The Way of Water is here, which is okay. I looking back on it, I was like, how did Avatar: The Way of Water get nominated for the Oscar if it couldn't even win in its own category at the Art Directors Guild? That doesn't make any sense. Where is production design? To be honest, where is production design? Oh, there it is. Yeah, gold. Okay, so Gold Derby predicted they were wow 4 out of 5. The only one that missed was Black Panther, and instead it got the Fablemans, which the Fablemans was a legitimate surprise. I was kind of surprised that was happening, and more people thought Black Panther was going to win. That's interesting, and it didn't even get nominated, which I kind of expected it to not win, or even not get even nominated, because it's one thing to go to nominate it like for costumes, but then production design. What was there really in terms of production design that was that new in Wakanda Forever? So yeah, I thought the Batman was going to get nominated because I think it even got nominated at the BAFTAs for production design. Uh, because again, the BAFTAs really loved the Batman, nominating it for cinematography and production design. But ultimately, again, that just did not happen. That just did not happen. Uh, so yeah, I think I will say it was a big oof on me to not predict. I mean, to try to predict the Banshees of Inisherin, despite there being no logical reason for me to do so. Because again, if it couldn't even get nominated at the Art Directors Guild, what was I even thinking? Uh, Glass Onion would have been an inspired choice for a nomination. But oh yeah, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio got nominated for the BAFTA as well. I didn't think they were going to do that at the Oscars. Uh, and I was correct. They did not end up doing that for the Oscars. In fact, what were some of the other predictions that people were going with? Glass Onion, that would have been a safe bet. Maybe Everything Everywhere, perhaps. Pinocchio, yeah, I just did not think that was ever happening. Mm. And with the Fablemans, I just wasn't really thinking the Fablemans was going to get nominated, because the Fablemans was just not really performing all that well at during award season, or at least the latter half of the award season when it came to nominations. Like, it got practically nothing at BAFTA except for an original screenplay nomination, and even at the Critics' Choice Awards, the only thing it won was Young Actor or Actress for Gabriel LaBelle, and that's not even an Oscar category, so it won practically nothing. So the fact that it won, I mean, no, that it did end up getting a production design nomination was pretty surprising. Although I just didn't think it was really going to happen. Uh, so yeah, so, God, why did I go for Banshees? I could have gone, like, again, I could have maybe gone with Avatar, but I didn't. I was wondering if they were even going to do that at all. Oh no, this is the Oscar nominations. So yeah, why did I predict Banshees? That was dumb. Best costume design, I predicted Amsterdam, Babylon, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, Corsage, and Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. I thought maybe, like, okay, Costume Designers Guild. Let me check and see if the Costume Designers Guild nominations were out at that time. Okay, I'm looking at this. Nominees were announced at this point. So, okay, why did I even think Corsage was happening? Why did I think Corsage was happening? I don't even think it got nominated at the BAFTAs for costume design. I don't think it did. Let me check real quick if it did or not. Hold on a second. Yeah, no, not even a nomination at BAFTA. What was I thinking? Why did I think Corsage was going to get nominated? That was really dumb of me to think Corsage was going to get in. Again, I really have to, in the future, I really needed to pay attention to these guilds, because these guilds are really telling us as to what's going to happen. Because let me like I think all the nominees because like the nominees ended up being Babylon, Wakanda Forever, Elvis, Everything Everywhere, and Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. Okay, uh, actually, wait, I got wait no, I got 3 out of 5 because I thought Amsterdam was wait what? Oh, I didn't even predict Elvis. Oh, I think my reasoning for not predicting Elvis was because they usually don't go for musical biopics for costume design. They didn't do it with Bohemian Rhapsody. They didn't do it with Rocket Man. I just assumed they weren't going to do it here. And then, lo and behold, they did it. Like they did it. They did nominate Elvis. I mean, hell, it even won costume design for a period film at the Costume Designers Guild. So okay, and Everything Everywhere All at Once. That again, that came out of nowhere. I was not expecting. Like, actually, where did they have costume design? Like, where is it? Costume design, costume design. There we go, costume design. Wow, so they were 4 out of 5 here, and they thought the Woman King was getting in. Wow, Everything Everywhere was actually tracking pretty strongly. It seems. So maybe it was kind of a boo boo, but then again, Everything Everywhere just still didn't get nominated at BAFTA. I just didn't think it was happening. I thought maybe they were gonna go with Amsterdam, uh, for this. Hell, I thought Amsterdam was gonna maybe overperform a little bit more here in a bit, but I didn't really think Woman King was gonna happen. I just didn't sense a whole lot of love for Woman King. Although Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris, I did call that. I was like, yeah, I think Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris is going to get nominated. Uh, but yeah, Everything Everywhere All at Once. That was crazy. That was crazy how it managed to do that. Hell, even beating Black Panther for sci-fi fantasy film at the Costume Designers Guild. Glass Onion would have been a fun nomination. Again, Corsage, I don't know why I predicted Corsage. The Fablemans. I don't even think the Fablemans... Yeah, the Fablemans didn't even get nominated for period film. So that there was no way that was happening. Okay, fantasy film. Okay, wait, no. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait. Why did I just realize this? I just realized this. The Batman didn't get nominated for costume design in a sci-fi fantasy film? And yet Hocus Pocus 2... the straight-to-TV movie, not a theatrical movie, that got nominated over it? It's been months now since the nominees were even announced. Why did I just realize the Batman didn't get nominated at Costume Designers Guild? What the hell? Holy shit, wait, what? I'm having an existential crisis right now. That is nuts. Don't Worry Darling, that didn't get... Wait, no, Don't Worry Darling actually did get in for period film. That is weird. How did the Batman not even get in for sci-fi fantasy costumes? That's really weird. But yeah. That is absolutely nuts. That is crazy. So yeah. Makeup and hairstyling. I was 4 out of 5 here. I predicted All Quiet in the Western Front, Amsterdam, The Batman, Elvis, and... Ow! Fuck! I hit my thumb. And The Whale. I thought Amsterdam was going to maybe get in, but I don't even think... Like, wait. Makeup and Hairstylists Guild Awards. Okay, wait. So Amsterdam actually did get a couple of nominations at the Makeup and Hairstylists Guild. Although, wait. Was that announced at the... Like, let me look up and see if the Makeup and Hairstylists Guild Award nominations were out at that point. Okay, so nominations were announced before the Oscars. And so, yeah, okay. So I predicted Amsterdam, and it wouldn't have been a bad... It probably wasn't that bad of a bet. Because it did get a couple of nominations. Although, like, Black Panther... Wow! Black Panther got in. This is where I started realizing Black Panther was overperforming. Because I was like, no way it just got makeup and hairstyling. Like, really? It got nominated for that. Which is absolutely nuts. but yeah, I thought even though All Quiet on the Western Front didn't get nominated anywhere here, again, All Quiet was a late bloomer, so I figured that was going to happen. And apparently, let me look at the yeah, at the BAFTA Awards, All Quiet still got nominated, and they actually nominated Matilda the musical, which didn't like actually. Let me just pull it up right here. I don't even know why I have it uh over here, but like let me just do this real quick, and there we go. They nominated Matilda the musical. It should have gotten it. I think like it should have been shortlisted and nominated at the Oscars, but I think Matilda the musical was even further out than even All Quiet. But man, like what they did with Miss Trunchbull in that film, that should have gotten it an Oscar nomination for makeup. But no, it didn't. Again, not even shortlisted. But I thought All Quiet was going to get in. Like out of okay, what in fact what did Gold Derby say? What did Gold Derby say about makeup and hairstyling? Oh wait, there we go. Even they predicted Black Panther, so they were 5 out of 5. I just thought Black Panther was just not going to be that strong. So yeah, Blonde was a possible. Actually, yeah, Amsterdam barely got anything. I was really hoping Crimes of the Future. Oh yeah, that because Crimes of the Future got shortlisted. I was hoping Crimes of the Future would get a nomination because it had some really crazy horror designs, and I love that shit. But no, that didn't end up happening. Blonde. I was initially thinking, oh, maybe it could get nominated because I saw the trailers and I was like, yeah, the Ana de Armas looks pretty damn good as Marilyn Monroe, so that's a possibility. And then I watched the movie, and well, while she looks great, her mother, like the old age makeup that her mother has in the movie, looks absolutely abysmal. So yeah, that's why it didn't get nominated. Oh man, ugh. I was so sure about Amsterdam because like it's not even just like the makeup. There's a lot of crazy period hairstyling going on in Amsterdam. So I thought it was going to get a nomination. So there's that. And then let's get to the sad category. And I know, like, visual effects. I was 4 out of 5 here. All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of Water, The Batman, Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness, and Top Gun: Maverick. And in the Oscars, Doctor Strange didn't get in. Black Panther somehow did. Over Doctor Strange, mind you. Doctor Strange. I will never, ever get over this. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness should have been nominated. There is no good excuse for why Doctor Strange kept getting snubbed everywhere. Why? Going into 2022, there were 2 locks. Two movies I thought were locks for nominations for visual effects. Avatar, again, no shit, it's Avatar, and Doctor Strange, because it's Doctor Strange. The effects in the Doctor Strange movie, in like these Doctor Strange movies, or any of his appearances in the MCU, they like are some of the coolest, most imaginative shit you'll see in Marvel. First film got nominated for visual effects. And even Spider-Man No Way Home. I still contend the reason why Spider-Man No Way Home got a visual effects nomination was because of that fight scene between him and Doctor Strange, where they go into the mirror dimension. Hell, the mirror dimension even won Outstanding Created Environment at the Visual Effects Society Awards. It even won Outstanding Created Environment. Like, it won, beating Dune. And somehow, Critics' Choice didn't nominate Doctor Strange. The BAFTAs didn't nominate Doctor Strange. Well, I was like, you know what? No, like, let's see what the Visual Effects Society has. Fucking Visual Effects Society Awards absolutely snubbed the shit out of Doctor Strange, giving it nothing. Somehow, Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbleshit and Jurassic World Dominion, and I say dumb Minion, got nominated over. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, I didn't have any problems with them getting in the short list. I didn't like those movies, but, you know, you know, but I didn't like those movies, but that doesn't mean they didn't have great visual effects. But are you absolutely shitting? Like, like, there is no world, like, where Jurassic World Dominion and Fantastic Beasts were more groundbreaking and innovative than Doctor Strange. There was so much cool shit in That whole scene where they're, like, barreling through all those different multiverses, that was, like, that had my jaw on the floor. Like, the scene where you see the Illuminati, fun fact, let me just do this real quick. These two, like, Reed Richards and Black Bolt in the movie, like, their suits were completely CGI. Like, that was crazy. And no one noticed. No one ever noticed that these two had CG costumes. Again, that shit was really freaking cool. Like, and again, so much crazy, trippy imagery. And yet, Doctor Strange gets snubbed at Visual Effects Society. Oh, like, in favor of Jurassic World and Fantastic Beasts? Hell, Marvel got no nominations here except for Outstanding Effects Simulations for Black Panther Wakanda Forever for the city street flooding. Like, and I've had this theory that I fully believe I'm right here, where the Visual Effects Society completely snubbed Marvel and mainly Doctor Strange because of that whole controversy where, you know, where it turned out Marvel was underpaying the visual effects people, like, and companies were going out of business. And my theory was that this was the Visual Effects Society's way of getting back at Marvel. By saying, all right, we're just not gonna nominate you for shit. We'll give you, like, one award. And because, like, there's no other explanation, and people are only gonna say, oh well, Doctor Strange didn't deserve it because they just didn't like the movie. Too bad. It deserved a nomination. It so deserved a nomination. Its effects were way more innovative than Jurassic World or actually, wait, oh shit, where did I put it? Yeah, like, its effects were way more innovative and imaginative than Fantastic Beasts and Jurassic World. Like, with Fantastic Beasts, it's just the same Harry Potter shit we've seen before. And even then, I thought the first two Fantastic Beasts movies had better effects than this. And with Jurassic World Dominion, alright, the effects look really good, but it's just the same dinosaur shit we've seen a dozen times. Why do these films get nominated over Doctor Strange? There was no other answer other than retaliation. And I'm not saying Marvel was good for doing that. Like, no, they should never, the visual effects companies should be paid handsomely for their work. But and then you're probably wondering, well, then why did Black Panther get nominated for the Oscar? I think the Academy, like, the Academy voters were just more they gave, again, Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Even when you look at the overall branches, like, they were loving Black Panther Wakanda Forever, including the Writers Guild, including the Producers Guild. And it makes me think, had the first Black Panther not had such abysmal visual effects, like Wakanda, like, the first film would have maybe gotten in for a nomination. If the effects were not so horrible. And the effects in the second Black Panther were not horrible. I still think they were nowhere near as groundbreaking or imaginative as Doctor Strange. Hell, I mean, with Black Panther Wakanda Forever, the effects were just standard. They were just standard effects. Like, it was literally just the same effects that Aquaman did, except murkier. Like, it was just exactly that. It was just people flying around, pew pew, a little bit of water, and Black Panther gets Wakanda Forever gets nominated. I was like, can you tell I'm upset over this? Can you tell I'm really upset over the fact that Doctor Strange just got the middle finger throughout this entire award season? It got nominated for absolutely nothing. No precursors whatsoever. I still stuck to my guns for, you know, the Oscar nominations, because maybe it'll get nominated, maybe. And apparently even the BAFTAs didn't even nominate any Marvel movies. Hell, I think, like, Actually, yeah, they went for everything. Yeah, let me see. They went for Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I will still say I will always call and praise the fact that I called it that Everything Everywhere would not get an Oscar nomination for visual effects because it didn't fucking deserve it. I even said it wouldn't even get shortlisted. I even said it wouldn't get nominated for supporting visual effects at the Visual Effects Society because Everything Everywhere All because a lot of people people only nominated Everything Everywhere All at Once for best visual effects because they love the movie and it just so happens to have visual effects. But they didn't stop to think, is this groundbreaking? Now, granted, Doctor Strange was groundbreaking and it didn't get nominated, but there was actually there's probably a narrative for why that didn't get nominated. But with Everything Everywhere All at Once, it was significantly not groundbreaking. And people were going, well, but 6 visual effects artists worked on the movie. I'm like, yeah, because the movie had 6 people's worth of visual effects. And I'm not trying to insult this movie. I'm not. They were pretty good for what they were trying to do, but like it was very simple. It was not groundbreaking in the slightest. The only reason why people were nominating it was because it was their favorite movie with visual effects. That's the only reason why everyone was going with it. And I predicted it wouldn't even get shortlisted, and here we are. It didn't get shortlisted. And so I feel vindicated on that part. I was wrong about Doctor Strange, but I wasn't wrong in it, I wasn't wrong in the fact that it did in the fact that Everything Everywhere All at Once would get snubbed. Now, in the shortlist, you also had movies like Nope, 13 Lives, and Jurassic World and Fantastic Beasts. Okay, this is where the BAFTAs come in, because I thought maybe at the BAFTAs they would maybe nominate Fantastic Beasts, The Secrets of Dumbledore, because they nominate pretty much every Harry Potter movie for visual effects. Even what was it, like the last film, it did. But apparently, so I was kind of assuming, all right, maybe, and I started to get worried because I was like, if it got the Visual Effects Society award for visual effects, like a nomination, and if it were to get BAFTA, I'd probably have to predict it for best visual effects now. And ultimately, that didn't happen, so I was like, well, shit, I guess I probably do have to go with Doctor Strange. And there's also a bit of a pattern I keep seeing at the Oscars for the past 3 years, which is there's always one film that gets 0 Visual Effects Society nominations that end up getting nominated for the Oscar for visual effects. In fact, I think I have a stat right here. Let me pull it up real quick. Yeah, there's this stat that's been going on for the past 3 years. Actually, wait. Yeah, I missed something real quick. Damn it. Alright, here we go. Yeah, there's a stat that I realized where movies that got nominated for Best Visual Effects at the Oscars without any Visual Effects Society nominations. It has now happened 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. First, we had Spider-Man, which was the only time in the 3-film visual effects nominations at the Oscars that it managed to happen. But then when they expanded it to 5 nominees for visual effects, we would eventually get films like Real Steel, Snow White and the Huntsman, Ex Machina. Those movies didn't get any Visual Effects Society nominations, and yet they ended up getting the Oscar nomination for visual effects. But now it's been consistent for the past 3 years. Love and Monsters, which you sort of have to take with a little bit of an asterisk because that was the worst year for visual effects, 2020. But at the same time, it did have, out of that short list, it did have some of the best visual effects of that category, of that short list. So there is that. It was one of the whatever. Then you got Free Guy and last year, and then this year with All Quiet on the Western Front. But notice how it's only one. There weren't, for 2020, it was only Love and Monsters. Free Guy, it was only Free Guy. 2022, only All Quiet on the Western Front. So, if I were to go with my prediction, I was predicting 2 movies that got 0 Visual Effects Society nominations that ultimately that would get an Oscar nomination for visual effects. And with Black Panther, it technically did get in for, one category, which is nuts. Actually, yeah, there were 3 movies that didn't get any Visual Effects Society nominations. All Quiet, Nope, and Doctor Strange. Which, again, the whole Doctor Strange thing, that makes me so fucking mad, but I'm not gonna go on a tangent. I can't keep going on that tangent. But yeah, I got 4 out of 5. Most people got 5 out of 5, although Black Panther seriously did not deserve it over Doctor Strange. I'm going to be sore about that for the rest of my life. I will never, ever get over this. I will always be mad. I will always be petty about this. Sue me. So, there we go. Best sound, once again, 5 out of 5. I got this entirely correct. It was All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of Water, The Batman, Elvis, Top Gun: Maverick. And in fact, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, for some reason, Gold Derby barely predicted The Batman. I'm like, are you serious? Do you seriously think Everything Ever All at Once is going to get a sound nomination over The Batman? Like, the Batmobile scene alone, like, just shows why The Batman was going to get a nomination. It's like, in what world does Everything Everywhere get a nomination over The Batman? That's just unreasonable to assume. So I am glad that I did go with The Batman, because like, there was no way The Batman was going to miss out on a nomination. That would have been a major snub. And so, yeah, I did get all of this correct. There we go. And also, I think this was even 5 out of 5 at the Sound Mixers, what was it? The American Audio Society, I believe. Yeah, the American Audio Society Awards. Yeah, for sound mixing. It was all 5, like all 5 out of 5, 5 out of 5, 5 out of 5. So there we go. And we got our last couple nominations here, because I didn't predict the short films, documentaries, or international features. Original score, I thought it was going to be All Quiet on the Western Front, the Babylon, The Banshees of Inisherin, The Fablements, and Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. I was 4 out of 5 here because we ended up, instead of Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, we got Everything Everywhere All at Once. I was like, oh no, why'd you snub Pinocchio? Why did you snub Pinocchio? That was so bad. Like, I mean, that's such a bad snub. It's like, why would you do that? That's like, it had such a great score. Actually, wait, where is where is the score for, like, oh yeah, best score. Oh wow, they were like, I actually got it better than, yeah, I got it better than Gold Derby, because I figured All Quiet in the Western Front was going to get in. It's a very it's a very memorable score. Boom, boom, boom. Like, I figured that was going to happen. It's a very, very memorable piece of music. So yeah, I think. Oh wow, the Fablemans was the front runner to win. Oh my god, and followed by Babylon, and then All Quiet in the Western Front. Although one person predicted it would win, so dang. Women Talking, that didn't happen. Black Panther, that didn't happen. I didn't expect it to happen, because like it's way harder for a sequel to deliver Oscar nomination worthy music than the first film, which is a miracle how John Williams was able to pull that off with the Star Wars sequels. Oh wow, wait a minute, there's 4. No one predicted Everything Everywhere All at Once. I mean, I sure as hell didn't. This is where I started to realize, oh god, Everything Everywhere All at Once is overperforming. But still, that was so sad. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio didn't get nominated. That really sucks. It should have been nominated. Like, it was such a good one. Oh yeah, there are no Guild Awards for this, so I can just get rid of these real quick. Actually, for score, for score, oh my god, the BAFTAs did nominate Everything Ever All at Once. And what did they? They did nominate The Fablemans. That's crazy. Also for sound. Oh yeah, sound was also kind of nuts. I remember, because they didn't even shortlist Tar or 13 Lives or uh or um or Nope for sound, so that was weird. But for score, I remember They snubbed the Batman in the shortlist. I was like, in a shortlist of 15, you couldn't fit in the Batman. Like, why the Batman didn't get shortlisted? What is? Oh my god! Like that was. I was like, are you serious? You're snubbing the Batman? That had like one of the best scores of the year. But yeah, God. But Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio getting snubbed. That was upsetting. I was like, God damn it. So yeah. And then we get to Best Original Song. Again, I think I got 4 out of 5 here. Applause from Tell It Like a Woman. Ciao Papa from Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. Hold My Hand from Top Gun Maverick. Lift Me Up from Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And Natu Natu from RRR. Yeah, I got 4 out of 5 right. I did correctly predict Applause from Tell It Like a Woman. I didn't, even Gold Derby didn't predict it in the top 5. I was like, it's Diane Warren. Diane Warren always gets nominated for this shit. Like, so, I was predicting her. Where the Crawdads Sing, like, Carolina from Where the Crawdads Sing. I would have liked to see that in there. But I knew that, but I figured that was not going to happen. Not when you have Diane Warren. Just absolutely not. Natu, so glad it got in there. I'm so glad it won. But oh my god, Ciao Papa from Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. That was upsetting. I was like, no, not Ciao Papa, no. And ultimately, I was right. Applause did get it. Did get in. But this is a Life from Everything Ever All at Once. I was like, okay, at this point, it's doing way better than I thought it was going to. It's getting costume design, score, and song. I was like, oh my god. It's a juggernaut. Uh, wow. And again, Ciao Papa not getting in. God. And here's the thing, I was very nervous about Natu getting in. Because I was like, are they, like, cause, okay, like, the Golden Globes embraced it, the Critics' Choice Awards embraced it. Would the Oscars embrace Natu and how, crazy that song is? And sure enough, it did. It rode all the way to even the win. Very happy I was able to do that. What were the other songs in contention? What New Body Rumba from White Noise. That song is so incomprehensible. I knew that was never going to happen. Stand Up from Till. I don't even remember that song. You Give Me Strength from Avatar. No one was nominating that. I wouldn't have minded, but Till You're Home. No, I would have loved to see Good Afternoon from Spirited. I even said there was maybe a world that if they weren't going to go with Natu for the crazy, song, that they were probably going to go with Good Afternoon if they weren't going to do Natu. But man, This Is a Life getting in. That is, no one was predicting that to get nominated. No one, which is nuts. God, of course, I knew. Again, it's so crazy. I knew Diane Warren was going to get in. I just didn't expect her to take the place of, Ciao Papa. But good God. That was again, it's upsetting. It's upsetting. Actually, wait a minute. I'm trying to think of like, wait a minute. So I put in Applause and Ciao Papa. So that wait. Yeah, that's weird. Oh yeah, I forgot. Like This Is Life was getting in. I got confused there for a second, but yeah, overall I did pretty well with my Oscar predictions. It's so weird looking back on it now, where some of these races have gone. Like a lot of people were thinking The Fablemans was gonna win for Best Original Score, or maybe Babylon, and then of all movies, All Quiet on the Western Front, the movie that people weren't even predicting for a nomination, would end up winning. Doctor Strange, I'm so fuck you for that. Like that's so mean. Like that is just mean. Uh, I don't know. Like I don't know why I predicted Banshees of Inisherin, but yeah, like this was a crazy, unpredictable award ceremony. Oh yeah, maybe I could also briefly talk about international feature, the fact that Decision to Leave didn't get nominated, despite the fact that I predicted it for original screenplay. That was crazy. But yeah, guys, those were my predictions for the Oscar nominations, and this was my retrospect looking back at them. I got a lot of I did call some close races. Like I did call, Paul. No, not Paul. I did call. Oh yeah, Paul Dano. For getting snubbed for supporting actor in favor of Judd Hirsch. I just wasn't expecting Eddie Redmayne to get snubbed in favor of Brian Tyree Henry. But that's just how it goes. Um, but yeah, guys, tell me what were your predictions back then, before the Oscar nominations came out, and how do they compare now after we've had the Oscars? Let me know in the comments below what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell icon so you can be notified of future videos. And I'd like to thank my Ko-Fi supporters, Fun and Rooney Coaster. And also I have memberships open in the chat. I on the channel. If you can support me through there, that would be great. Or maybe Ko-Fi, whichever floats your boat. And if you want to see more, click this.